Hello and welcome back to our Lord of the Rings LCG solo progression series, and today's quest is the Nin-in-Eilph, which is the fourth adventure pack in the Ringmaker cycle. A quick reminder, in this series we're playing through each quest in chronological order of the game's initial release, and we'll only be using player cards that were available at the time of this quest's release. I'm calling this deck Drain the Swamp. That seems appropriate because the Nin-in-Eilph is actually a really large and treacherous marshland, and we have to travel through this really dangerous swamp. And I'd say more than any quest so far in the game that the mechanics of this quest seem to represent the theme better than any I've played. Like, you feel like you're traveling through a swamp and that the landscape is shifting and you just can't get ahead. And so I really enjoy the quest for the theme and the mechanics and how those are married. I will say, when you first start playing it, you'll be frustrated because there's so much variability. There's multiple stage 2s, multiple stage 3s. Each one has a different negative effect that'll really zing you. And so you're not really sure how to build your deck. And so it'll take losing a few times or even barely winning to really start to come up with a strategy. And this was the one that seemed to work best, the mono lore. And these heroes are all three very specifically helpful. Aragorn is the only threat reduction we'll need. Denethor buries the giant swamp adder for us and just generally gives us some knowledge about what's coming. And then Grima, we could just use him to obviously pay for all these cards. And Aragorn, with his threat reduction, it's enough to deal with Grima's doom tick each round. You know, our threat's going to go up by an extra point each round because of Grima, but Aragorn is enough threat reduction to offset that. There are some new allies here that I really won't mention because they're just allies that don't really serve a purpose other than just giving us an army of allies. But Elfstone is new to my channel from the Black Riders. It's a one-cost attachment. It's unique, and it attaches to the active location. The attached location gets +1 quest points. Once it's explored, though, in response, you get to put an ally into play from your hand for free. So really great way to get out Gildor and Glorian or Gandalf or Anborn or something like that. Well, let's get to the quests and see how we do. Opening hand is not really that good. Let's go ahead and mulligan. We're looking for Ranger Spikes particularly, and I didn't get it. But we'll keep trudging ahead here. All right, fleeing from Tharbad, you've entered the vast marshlands of the Nin-in-Eilph with Nalir in order to escape Belloc and his orcs. Now you must cross the swamp in order to reach Hallan on the other side. For setup, the first player takes control of Nalir. Now, in Trouble in Tharbad, I mentioned he really wasn't so bad, but you really feel his presence in this quest. That extra threat raise is just tough. Force at the beginning of the refresh phase, raise your threat by 1 for each player in the game. So he's really nasty in this particular quest, more than Trouble in Tharbad. Each player searches the encounter deck for a different location and adds it to the staging area. Where we have 4 locations in the deck. We're going to choose Fen of Reeds. Okay, we have to make 0 progress to advance here. No traveler has entered the Nin-in-Eilph for an age, and there is no path through the shifting marshland. You must find your own way across the treacherous bog. When revealed, advance to a random stage 2A. Okay, let me show you the quest deck. There are 3 stage 2s, 3 stage 3s, and then a final stage 4. So each of these stage 2s is different on the backside, and they all have a different negative effect. This one says player card effects cannot be used to gain resources or draw cards. So you can't draw cards, you can't gain resources. This one requires us to discard a random card from our hand to commit characters to the quest. And then this one, each player cannot play more than 1 card each round. I really don't mind getting this one at first, just because I can build up my hand, and then when I get to these, I can kind of explode things. But what I'm going to do is shuffle the deck, and I've got a stage 2 on top of the deck, so I'm just going to advance to it. This is a random stage 2, through the marsh. As you trudge through endless swamp, you begin to wonder if you will ever reach the other side. When revealed, raise each player's threat by 1, so we're already at 30. And okay, this is the one that I like, a Forgotten Land. This is where I like to start. Time counters is 3. Now, whenever the final time counter is removed from the stage, we'll have to advance to a different stage 2, and then this is put back into the deck. Now, we could circle back here, so it is that feeling of the marshland sort of shifting on us. But while we're here, each player cannot play more than one card each round. I really don't want to anyway. These are all really expensive cards, so this works out well. It's not really a negative effect. Force. When the players defeat the stage, advance to a random stage 3A. Now, you really don't want to advance to stage 3 until you've used Aragorn's refresh action. So you kind of want to, it's not really turtling, because the reality is you have to build up things before you actually make progress. Making 13 progress is going to be hard. And so, maybe I would get to 7, and then when the time counters are moved, I go back, I go to a new stage 2, and all that progress is wiped. So that's the feeling of trudging through the swamp. You just can't get any traction, but we really don't mind it. We want to sort of build up our hand. Okay, so one card played during this phase, or during this round, because of a Forgotten Land. Let's use Denethor's action to look at the top card, and it's not the giant swamp adder, so we won't bury it. It's Sinking Bog. All right, we want to play one card, and I think the card I'm going to play is Sylvan Tracker. Let's use Grima's action. Action, lower the cost of the next card you play from your hand this round by 1. That card gains Doomed 1. So Doomed 1, and it just costs us 2 to play Sylvan Tracker. Sylvan Tracker has a really helpful 3 hit points in this quest, and it heals itself. Response after a Sylvan character readies during the refresh phase, heal 1 damage from that character. So there's a lot of direct damage in this quest, and so having a lot of hit points is important. That's another reason for mono lore. You actually have hit points on the table. So let's just quest knowing what's coming. This is where Denethor is so helpful. We'll quest and put some willpower out there, and we reveal Sinking Bog. While Sinking Bog is in the staging area, each character gets -1 willpower, attack, and defense for each item attached to it. This ability does not stack with other copies of Sinking Bog. Okay, we made 2 progress. During the travel phase, we'll travel to Fen of Reeds. This 1 threat's not too big a deal. We'll refresh, and at the beginning of the refresh phase, Forced, at the beginning of the refresh phase, raise your threat by 1 for each player in the game. And then we will remove time counters, the time counter from Grima, and then 1 time counter from a Forgotten Land at the end of the refresh phase. Next round. Okay, we'll use Denethor's action to look at the top card. It's Fen of Reeds, and so we're good to go. How much willpower will I have here? Let me think. 1, 2, 3. -2. So I can't clear this stage yet, or this active location yet. Even if I put out, let me see, if I put out, 4 -2 is just 2. So yeah, even with, if I put out Elfstone, I wouldn't be able to benefit from it yet. So I'm just going to put out an ally. Let's just put out Dory. So we'll use Grima's action, Doomed 1. We lower the cost of Dory to 2. And we'll quest and reveal. Well, I did clear this, but I couldn't have done Elfstone this round. So I reveal Fen of Reeds, and I make 3 progress and clear Fen of Reeds. During the travel phase, we'll travel again to Fen of Reeds. We'll refresh at the beginning of the refresh phase. We remove a time counter and a time counter from Forgotten Land. Removed 1 from Grima, 1 from Forgotten Land. Next round. Denethor's action. Okay, hidden 8. So let me do some math here. If I put, I would need to make 4 progress. Can I do it? 1, 2. No, I can't. So again, I don't need to worry about putting out Elfstone. So I just need to put out, probably be good to draw some cards. I'll just put out Gandalf, I think. So Doomed 1. And Gandalf will just cost us 4. The reason I want to play him is the next round I'm going to be at a new stage, and it might be the one where I can't draw cards. And so I'd rather play Gandalf now. Whenever he enters play, draw 3 cards. Here we go. Okay, we know what's coming because of Denethor. I had revealed Hidden 8. Okay, so let's quest and reveal Hidden 8, and we made 6 progress, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So that leaves play. During the travel phase, we definitely want to get Hidden 8, that 3 threat, out of staging. So to travel here, each player must exhaust a character he controls. So let's travel by exhausting Nalir. He's useful for that at least. And so we are now at the Hidden 8. We'll refresh at the beginning of the refresh phase. We raise our threat by 1. And at the end of the refresh phase, we remove time counters. So Forgotten Land has had its 3rd time counter removed. And so far, things are going really well for us. Usually, I don't just get nothing but locations like this. This is kind of the dream. So kind of an easier first few rounds than usual. Okay, so Force, after the last time counter is removed from the stage, advance to a different stage 2A at random. Then return this stage to the quest deck. So I'm going to shuffle the quest deck and just get a stage 2A. It's going to be a random one. This goes back to the quest deck. I might circle back here after this next stage. Through the Marsh. When revealed, raise each player's threat by 1. And it's the one that does not allow us to draw cards, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and play Gandalf and get some cards in hand. But I can play multiple cards now, so that's good. Okay, 3 time counters. And at the end of the round, Gandalf leaves play. Next round. So again, I can draw cards here. Let's use Denethor's action. Okay, it's Neeker Breakers. I wish I had... I wish that I had a Ranger Spikes in hand, because I would just let this come out. So I've got to make the decision at this point, during this action, do I want to move Neeker Breakers to the bottom of the deck? I don't want to assume that I'm about to be able to draw Ranger Spikes, so I will move it to the bottom of the deck. And then this, now that I don't know what's coming, I'm going to play this Ithilien Lookout. So Doom 1, and it just cost me 2 to play Ithilien Lookout. Response: after Ithilien Lookout enters play, look at the top card of the encounter deck. If it is an enemy, you may discard it. It's not one, okay. So he's really helpful in this quest. All right, I'm about to make the progress needed to clear Hidden 8, I believe. Oh, wait, I couldn't draw cards anyway. So a little bit ago, I was thinking about drawing into a Ranger Spikes I couldn't have anyway because of no end in sight. So let's go ahead and play Elfstone and attach it to Hidden 8. Okay, we'll quest. This is going to give Elfstone, is going to give Hidden 8 an extra point of progress to clear, so it's going to be 5 progress needed to clear this. But I think we've got it here. We reveal low on provisions. When revealed, each player must assign X damage among characters he controls, where X is the number of characters that player controls. I control 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I want to put 2 on Sylvan Tracker, 2 on Dory, 1 on Ithilien Lookout. You know, just these lore allies just have hit points. It's designed, the deck is designed to do that. So that's 5 so far. 5, 6, 7. I guess we'll do that. There we go. And we made 6 progress, so we cleared Hidden 8 and made a progress on no end in sight. Now, Hidden 8, when it leaves play, a couple of things. There's 2 responses. One is off this. After a task location leaves play as an explored location, the first player puts 1 ally into play from his hand. So we'll put Gildor and Glorian into play from our hand. So really great resource acceleration there. And it says response: after Hidden 8 leaves play as an explored location, place 2 time counters on the current quest. And so it's more likely that we'll be able to clear Nin-in-Eilph before moving on. So that's good. We don't have to worry about going to a new stage 2. Okay, we'll travel here to Sinking Bog and refresh. And at the beginning of the refresh phase, we raise our threat by 1 because of LOTR. And now we remove a time counter at the end of the refresh phase next round. Again, we can't draw cards while we're here at Nin-in-Eilph. Let's use Denethor's action. Okay, another location. Things are going really well for us here with all that. I definitely want to use Grima's action while I can, but I think I'm going to save resources. There's not really a reason to play Athelian Lookout. I guess maybe I could. Let's do LOTR of Lorien for free. Let's use Grima's action, Doom 1, and it costs us nothing to put Elfstone out. So this is going to be 6 progress needed. So let's quest. Oh yeah, and it should have been Sylvan Tracker's response. After Sylvan character readies during the refresh phase, heal 1 damage from that character. So she healed herself. And we reveal Finger of Glanduin. We made 7 progress, which was enough to clear Sinking Bog and make an extra progress on Nin-in-Eilph. When this leaves play, Elfstone allows us to put an ally into play for free from our hand. It's going to be LOTR of Lorien. This one here, it says, while Finger of Glanduin is in the staging area, it gains a forced effect. At the end of each round, remove 1 progress from each location in play. We'll travel here. Things are going really well. Refresh. Threat goes up by 1 because of LOTR. And I have a decision to make. Do I want to use Aragorn's refresh action? Next round, my threat will go up if I use Doomed, and then an extra point from LOTR. So I'm going to use his refresh action. Next round will be at 49, which is usually what I try to do. I try to get all the way to 49 before using his refresh action. So it's round 6 usually when I use his refresh action. So we remove a time counter. Have I done that yet? No. So we're down to 3 time counters next round. Okay, so I still can't play the card draw yet. Let's use Denethor's action. Okay, it is Shifting Marshland. Remove 1 time counter from the current quest. All right, what I'm going to do here is move this to the bottom of the encounter deck. Then I'm going to use Grima's action to give a card Doomed 1. It's going to be this Athelian Lookout. It'll just cost us 2 to play him. When he enters play, look at the top card of the encounter deck. If it is an enemy, you may discard it. It's not an enemy. We've not seen the marsh. This is a very unusual playthrough where I haven't seen a giant swamp adder. So pretty fortuitous playthrough so far in that way. All right, well, let's just quest all out. We might as well. And I think she healed last round, so she should be fully healed, Sylvan Tracker. Okay, we reveal Finger of Glanduin. We made 10 progress, so 7 on the current quest. This leaves play. During the travel phase, we'll travel to Finger of Glanduin again. Refresh. Threat goes up by 1 because of LOTR, so we are at 49. During the refresh action window, we will use Aragorn's refresh action. Reduce your threat to your starting threat level. It's going to be 29. And so he's all the threat reduction we will need. And it's very important, I think, to use your refresh action, Aragorn's refresh action, before moving on to stage 3, because you don't want to have to deal with Ancient Marsh Dweller. You don't want to engage him immediately, potentially. Okay, at the end of the refresh phase, we remove time counters. This one stays on Aragorn. It's just my reminder that we used his refresh action. Next round. Still can't draw cards. Let's use Denethor's action. Again, another location, Sinking Bog. Okay, let's use Grima's action, Doom 1, to put out just a free Amphalos Herdsman. Each Outlands character you control gets +1 hit point. Okay, now I can quest here. I just need to make, 1, 4, and 4. Is that right? 1, 3, that's 4. So I need to have 8 willpower out. So let's definitely send Gildor and Glorian, and Aragorn and Grima. And I just need one more willpower. We'll just send Sylvan Tracker. So there is a stage 3. We're about to go to stage 3. There's one that only allows you to ready 5 characters at the end of during every refresh phase. And so I don't really want to exhaust all my characters. I have 3 exhausted, or 5 exhausted, and all 5 of them, if I go to that stage, they can ready. And then I have fully ready characters, which is really helpful. Okay, so we'll reveal Sinking Bog, and we made 7 progress. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we cleared no end in sight. This leaves play. And this we will advance here. It says when the players defeat the stage, advance to a random stage 3A. So let's go to the quest deck. And we've already randomized this, so let's just advance. The top card is a 3, so we'll go here to Lost in the Swan Fleet. Lost as you are, your presence in the marsh has not gone unnoticed. An ancient and foul swamp creature stalks your company. When revealed, raise each player's threat by 1. And then add Ancient Marsh Dweller to the staging area from out of play or engage with a player, and heal all damage from it. So that matters because you can defeat him and send him to the victory display, and he can come back anytime you advance to a new stage 3. It's going to kind of bring him back. But here he is. Ancient Marsh Dweller is added to the staging area. And he's 45 engagement, so this is why you want to use Aragorn's refresh action before moving on. Can I have attachments? Ancient Marsh Dweller gets +1 threat and +1 attack for each resource token on it. There's a force effect after any number of time counters are removed from the current quest. Place a resource token here. So he'll kind of bump up in terms of his threat. Okay, so let's see what we've got. Okay, it's the one that I don't mind. This is the easiest playthrough I've had. That's okay, I'll keep it. Impassable marshland. Despite the size of the creatures hunting you, the swamp itself is your worst enemy. The ground sinks down beneath you, and the mud pulls the boots off of your feet. Every step forward is a struggle. Time counters is 3. And just like stage 2s, if ever we remove the final time counter, we have to advance to a random stage 3. While we're here, each location in play gets +1 threat. Let me show you the other stage 3s that we could have gone to. This one would lower the cost of the engage of all enemies to -20, which would mean then that Ancient Marsh Dweller would have engaged us this round. He would attack us, we'd chump, and then a couple of rounds, like next round, we'd be able to defeat him. So that's not the worst thing ever. You just need to make sure you have ready chumps when you advance in case this is the one you get. And then this one's the one I hate. Each player cannot ready more than 5 characters during the refresh phase. So you just have to think about that before you move on. Again, I had a lot of ready characters. Like if we had the one where he came in and attacked us, we'd chump with Amphalos Herdsman. We could attack back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's not enough to defeat him, but we'd be well on our way. So he's not indestructible or anything. Okay, during the travel phase, we'll travel here to Sinking Bog. Now, I don't want to engage Ancient Marsh Dweller and defeat him because I can't defeat him this round. If I could, if I had enough to hit back and destroy him, I might as well maybe, but I'm just going to leave him in staging for now. We'll refresh. We raise our threat by 1 because of Nalir, and then we remove a time counter at the end of the refresh phase. When we do, Ancient Marsh Dweller gets +1 threat and +1 attack for each resource token on it. Force after any number of time counters are removed from the current quest, place a resource token here. So he just got bumped up to 4 threat. Next round. Okay, so we've got a lot of resources built up. We're going to use Grima's action, Doom 1. It's going to cost us nothing to play Mithrander's Advice, drawing 3 cards. And let's play Mithrander's Advice to draw 3 cards. I'm really wanting to get out sword that was broken. Let me look at my discard pile. Do I have any attachments? Yeah, just elf stones. Let's go ahead real quick and look at what's coming with Denethor just so we can see. Okay, it is Giant Swamp Adder. Let's move him to the bottom of the encounter deck. Let's play Gleawine. Exhaust Gleawine to draw a card. All right. I don't need 2 Gildor Inglorians, so let's use Daeron's Runes to draw 2 cards and discard Gildor Inglorian. We don't know what's coming. Let's play Wardens of Healing, both of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I want to spread everybody out. I need to see what we actually have in terms of damage spread out across all of our characters here. I want to leave some resources on Aragorn so that let's see. We don't need all of these characters, so let's play Daeron's Runes to draw 2 cards and discard Miner of the Iron Hills. Okay, very good. So now we'll play Song of Kings. We'll attach it to Aragorn, and now we can play Sword That Was Broken. Everything worked out well here. Attached to a leadership character, which Aragorn is because of Song of Kings now. And if attached hero is Aragorn, each character you control gets +1 willpower. It's a crucial piece of making progress on this stage. Let's go ahead and we'll wait a little bit on Warden of Healing, I think. So we've used all of our resources and we don't know what's coming. So it could be Giant Swamp Adder. And again, you can, if I get it, I just need to have enough to attack back. So let me think here. I would just need 9 attacks. So I think I'm going to leave my heroes ready because there is a card that comes out that punishes you for having questing heroes. So I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'd be enough. If I just leave my Ithilien lookouts ready and my heroes ready, I'll be okay. I'm even going to quest here with Wardens of Healing, just to make some pretty good progress here. We reveal Fen of Reeds. Okay, so it wasn't such a bad thing. 9 progress is going to be, well, actually there's an extra threat on it because of impassable marshlands. We make 8 progress. So 1, 2, 3. That clears during the travel phase. We travel here. Okay, we will refresh. And Nalir raises our threat. And we remove a time counter which boosts the Ancient Marsh Dweller next round. So I'd like to see if I could clear impassable marshland this round. Let's see if it's possible. Let's use Gleawine to draw a card. Okay, Denethor will reveal what's coming. It is Giant Swamp Adder. Let's move it to the bottom of the deck. All right, so I'm going to try something here. I'm going to go ahead and use Grievous Action, Doom 1. I'm just going to spend 1 to play a Erebor Hammersmith. And his response says, after you play Erebor Hammersmith, return the topmost attachment in any player's discard pile to your hand. And so I just got a Elfstone back. And so I'll play Elfstone and attach it here to Fen of Reeds. And I'm going to quest. Let's just kind of go all out, I think. Let's see what I can do if I go all out. I think I'd clear it. I need to just have... I need to have a few more chumps, though. I don't want to chump with Warden of Healing. So maybe Airborne Hammersmith would be a secondary chump. And if I got like a... is that enough? 4 minus 21. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 17. I think I'm okay here. And I've got a couple of chumps because there's going to be an immediate attack from Ancient Marsh Dweller. But I think I'll clear this. Okay, let's reveal. Okay, it is Giant Swamp Adder, so I couldn't avoid it altogether. But we made 18 progress, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be 14. So I cleared impassable marshland. I got to do some math. Okay, so Fen of Reeds leaves play. When it does, Elfstone allows us to put a card into play for free from our hand, and I'm going to put Gandalf into play, and we can just go ahead and destroy Giant Swamp Adder, I think, if I put damage on Giant Swamp Adder. I think that's what I want to do. Well, is that true? Let me think what I want to do, because if I put the damage on Ancient Marsh Dweller right now, he's going to heal up when we advance. So if I put it on Giant Swamp Adder, he's going to attack me here in a minute during the combat phase. I chump with Amphalos Herdsman, and then I attack for 4 and 5. That'd be enough to destroy Giant Swamp Adder unless he makes another attack, but it's worth a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we've made the necessary progress to clear impassable marshland. And so we advance to stage 4. And here it is, out of the swamp. Okay, so Beyond All Hope says, you have reached the edge of the swamp. You can see the gentle rise of hills in the distance, but the huge marsh dweller that has pursued your company now lies between you and dry land. When revealed, add Ancient Marsh Dweller to the staging area. He already was in the staging area. From out of play or engage with a player and heal all damage from it. So if I damaged him with Gandalf, he'd be healed. Then Ancient Marsh Dweller makes an attack against each player in player order. So actually, we'll just chump here with Amphalos Herdsman. And it's good to chump right now. You want to chump with a character that has 2 health, because there is a shadow card in this deck that does 1 damage to the defending character. If it was a 1 health ally, it could be immediately destroyed by the shadow card. Then you have an undefended attack of 8. That's not good. So let's defend with Amphalos Herdsman. So this is 8 against 2, basically. And so he's destroyed. And so we did that immediate attack. This is, during quest resolution. All right, so we are here at the stage. The many groping tentacles of the swamp creature grab at you. You must defeat this beast if you are to escape the Nin-in-Eilph. Time counters is 2. After the last time counter is removed from the stage, Ancient Marsh Dweller makes an attack against each player in order. Place 2 time counters on the stage. When Ancient Marsh Dweller is defeated, the players win the game. Okay, so during the travel phase, nowhere to go. During the encounter phase, our threat's at 37, and so Giant Swamp Adder will engage us. Do I want to optionally engage Ancient Marsh Dweller? I do not. And so Giant Swamp Adder is going to attack right now for 3. And so this is, I didn't think it through. So putting the damage on Giant Swamp Adder didn't really help me, because I can take this undefended and put it on Aragorn, but there is a shadow that says that the attacking enemy, so he's going to get a shadow because he is going to attack. There's a shadow that says the attacking enemy gets +1 for each time counter on the current stage. And so that would be 5 attack. That would be 5 undefended. That would destroy any of my heroes. So I'm just going to block it with Gandalf. And he blocked the attack. I could have taken it ultimately undefended based on what came out, but I didn't know that. Okay, shadow cards are discarded. Refresh. Threat goes up because of Nalir. And at the end of the refresh phase, we remove a time counter, meaning that Ancient Marsh Dweller is boosted. And at the end of the round, Gandalf leaves play next round. Okay, so might as well bring Gandalf into play, I suppose. Let's use Grima's action, Doom 1. Well, before we do that, let's use Denethor's action to see what's coming. Okay, it's Finger of Glanduin, that's fine. So Doom 1, we'll play Gandalf. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just cost us 4 to do it. And we will go ahead and just put the damage on. Yeah, let's just destroy giant Swamp Adder. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. He's gone. Okay, we just want to keep from threading out. We're going to have 6 threat in staging, so we really don't have to even commit anybody. We reveal Finger of the Glanduin, and there's 6. What's going on here? Oh, that's not 6, that's 9. Okay, so, oh well, it worked out. Our threat goes up by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I saw this +3, but he has an innate 3 as well. So our threat's at 49. During the travel phase, we travel to Finger of Glanduin. Ancient Marsh Dweller engages us, and he's going to attack for 9. Let's just chump with Gleowine. And Gleowine leaves play, and now we attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19, 21. -4 is 17 total damage on Ancient Marsh Dweller. And so he goes to the victor display, and it says when Ancient Marsh Dweller is defeated, the players win the game. So we won it in 10 rounds, which is usually what I do. I never had to really use Warden of Healing, but as you can see, Warden of Healing could heal all this damage, which is really helpful because I'm just going to shuffle all the cards back in and just kind of show you the different cards, because there's a lot of things that can happen that didn't happen in this playthrough. First of all, In Need of Rest removes a hero from the quest. Well, with Denethor, if this is ever coming out, just don't quest with your heroes. But if you do, you have 3 copies of Miner of the Iron Hills to get rid of this. Low on provisions is not that big a deal because, because of Sylvan Tracker, they heal themselves. And then Warden of Healing, just every time your allies are damaged, you can begin to heal them over time with Wardens of Healing. This can be problematic if you don't want to remove time counters for whatever reason. But, there are a few low on provisions. This one here, Remnants of the Elder Days, can be a little bit swingy. When revealed, each player must search the encounter deck and discard pile for a creature enemy and put it into play engaged with him. Not in staging, but engaged. So usually what I do is I just choose right there. When it's an enemy, I just choose from that card a giant Swamp Adder, because I really don't want, I want Necrobreaker to be ensnared by Ranger Spikes. I don't think I saw Ranger Spikes in my hand. It was still in the deck, all 3 of them. But Necrobreakers is great for, they can have attachments. Giant Swamp Adder cannot. And so you really are just looking to bury these different giant Swamp Adders with Denethor, and then if you don't know what's on top, you definitely want to try to play Ithilien Lookout, because that can help you to discard one of these. Is a great feeling, just to have this gone from the deck. Locations, we saw all of them, and we see how they work. The variable stages, I think I taught through those as we went on, so that's the playthrough. That is the quest. We won it in 10 rounds, which is very normal. I always win in 10 rounds. So the way the deck is built, it's just going to do that in 10 rounds. My threat was at 49. It didn't have to be. Again, I made a mistake and I almost threaded out, because I didn't realize that there was 9 threat in staging. But, we were fine. We made it through and won the quest. So I hope you enjoyed the playthrough and that you will continue on with me. Next, we'll be taking a break again. Man, this Ringmaker cycle has really been broken up by a lot of Nightmare decks and stuff, even the sagas. So we're going back to Heirs of Numenor, to the deluxe expansion, Heirs of Numenor, to the 3 Nightmare quests from those. So Peril and Pelargir, and Into Ithilien, and the Siege of Cair-Andros. So the Nightmare versions of those should be pretty difficult, because the first 3 quests there were difficult in and of themselves. Well, I appreciate you joining me as always, and I hope you will again next time. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.